This is a full moon reading for Virgo, so first of all a good shuffle. If you leave a comment, then I will reply with a free full moon oracle card reading within 24 hours. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe. Press the bell icon for instant notifications, and there's also links if you'd like to buy me a coffee or for a personal reading. So, just going to lay down your 10 cards on the table and just focus around your energy, and then just see what comes up for you. It's been difficult, you know, it's been challenging. It's very much as energy of being pulled one way and then the other. I mean, I do see this vision of like this person on crutches and you're walking next to them in rags. So what that means is that someone's or some situation has been holding you back. Okay. The feeling here is that if you put on your glad rags, move away from this situation, those crutches will be thrown up in the air, and that personal situation would then start coming towards you, and then you can choose whether to have it in your life or not. Because what I get here, someone is clearly holding you back. Some situation is clearly holding you back. So it's either walking away from the situation or just dealing with it differently. Okay, and don't forget that if you change the way you look at something, then what you look at also changes, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Something needs to change. It needs to change within yourself. But I do sense this person has been completely in the wrong here. Okay, so it's very much about you dealing with it differently or walking away, and then things will start to change. I also see this church. There's also something here about some kind of divine intervention as well. So it could well be you've been putting out a lot of wishes, a lot of prayers to the universe. They've been listened to. They're in the process of being answered. It's there. That security, that certainty is there. It's waiting for you. Okay. But at the moment, it's like this personal situation is holding you back. Your mind has been feeling very unsettled. You've been feeling very emotional. And these are like the blocks, okay? You can't, it's impossible to be in touch with your inner self, your soul source, when your mind and emotions are so unsettled. But once you walk away, then it's a strong sense of you taking back your power. The mind settles, the emotions settle, you're more in touch with your soul. The soul is the same as the universe, so you're able to manifest more of what you want. It's there, it's waiting for you. I do feel that you've been getting some messages recently. What I mean is that from the spiritual plane. So it could well be around like repeated numbers, synchronicities, seeing feathers, seeing clocks stopped at certain times. Okay, these are messages. The universe is trying to tell you something. In fact, two things. First of all, they're trying to nudge you in the right direction, but it's also confirmation that they're there as well. I'm also sensing you've been looking at a lot of spiritual or creative stuff recently. Okay, so you could well have been reading up, watching videos, going on some type of workshop. So things do get worse before they get better. Okay, it's a bit like, well, for example, like a plane going from one place to a better place and experiencing turbulence along the way. Or if you imagine a wheel that's been going against you in a negative direction, but when you walk away, things start to change. And just before it turns around, there's a lot of friction. Okay, it's like the darkest hours just before the dawn. Things get worse before they get better, but there's positive momentum ahead. It's just getting through this difficult patch. And that's where a lot of people give up and they go back to square one. But I do sense you are going to fight through. Yeah, you are, most definitely. Okay, this is all about new beginnings here for you. Okay, it's difficult. It has been difficult, but a bit like you've got a seed. The wind helps the seed to scatter. The rain helps the seed to grow. And even though the rain and wind are challenging elements, they're needed for the seed to grow into something special. It could also be about new romance bubbling up around you as well. Some kind of goal. Something you've been working on is going to be achieved here. It's also known as one of the pregnancy cards. So if not with yourself, then someone around you is pregnant. So either you've heard some news or you're going to hear some good news around that. Subconsciously, yeah, I mean, this is really what I've been saying here. You know, there's a lot of blockages, which are the thoughts and also the emotions. Okay, the sun is always there. Yeah, but what it's saying is that once you clear the clouds, then you will reveal the sun. The sun is very much about your soul source, the universe. Okay, so the clouds really are your issues, your problems, your doubts, your worries, your fears. Once you work through them, then you're more in touch with your inner self because you clear the clouds. So the advice here is more confirmation or perhaps reassurance, because something has clearly made you feel very unsettled. Okay, so it could well be around the end of a relationship, a divorce or a separation, or someone's been completely out of order here. Okay, you've been feeling very emotional and you're just being reminded that it's like a wake-up call for you. It's kind of what's needed. It's like waking up and smelling the coffee. You realise it's time just to walk away from this situation. It's interesting because for me this is one of the twin flame cards. The other twin flame card for me is the Two of Wands. I'll say that because when I did a reading earlier it showed up as the next card, so it'll be interesting. But the reason why I see this as a twin flame card is because you've got these two bodies on like these kebab skewers just going around in the same process. You know, there's also this stained glass window, so it's very spiritual. So it's a spiritual connection. You're always connected spiritually to your twin flame. But I sense there's a lot going on around this connection. So there could be third parties involved, there could be distances, insecurities, problems around finances, work, just a lot. Everything's kind of sort of flared up. But notice you're head to toe. So you're different but going through the same process. Like a heart shape, you cut it in half. So it fits together perfectly, but mirror images. So you're always together. There's like this divine connection that ties the two of you together. But physically, there's this disconnection, there's this coldness. Things need to be worked through. You both need to go through this healing process. What was I saying? This is the Two of Wands. I must be psychic, huh? So if you look at the tiles, black and white, completely different, but they fit together perfectly. Okay, so this is the twin flame connection. Very much confirmation here. There's also an angel here on the card as well. So the outcome is very much about you detaching yourself from a situation. It's like you've been attached to something, perhaps some toxic or negative energy here. Okay, so it's very much about this detachment, and then in detaching yourself, in walking away, this twin flame connection becomes more apparent. From their side, I feel they need to work through some issues, especially around perhaps work, money, security issues. So you both have your issues that you need to work through, and then you will come back together. So don't forget to leave a comment and I will reply with a free full moon oracle card reading within 24 hours. There's also links if you'd like to buy me a coffee or for a personal reading.